welcome to Red V TV's instant fan reaction following Saints' 2018-point defeat to the Warrington Wolves in the Challenge Cup this afternoon. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of Wire viewers watching this as well, so hello to you. When it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, is it, KP?
It's not, is it? I wish I was still sat in the Dominican drinking champagne instead of being locked down in Widnes, as you pointed out the other day. Yeah, it was one of them games, wasn't it? Unfortunately, and we've come out on the wrong end of it.
Now, for me, we started well, didn't we? We got the first try under our belts. We took the 2, went 8 points up. And then we seemed to just stop playing. And after that last 20 minutes of the first half just wasn't good enough, Kev.
I think I've been saying this for 2 or 3 seasons now. When we've been blessed with 2 of the best props in the world, when we had Alex Worms and Luke Thompson, and we're now blessed with the best prop in the world and a very experienced, still exceptional prop. And when you take both of them off, we're not the same team. It was the same when we had Tomo and Al. And look, I could say all sorts of stuff. Things didn't go our way. We did start well. The way we scored that first try was just fluent Saints attacking style. We took the 2. We seemed to control the game. And then Percy's took a knock. So again, I'm going to throw in the question, should Peru have been on the bench and not Smith? Because Robes has ended up doing 80 minutes anyway. So for viewers, put your comments in below. And it seemed to just disrupt our rhythm. We seemed to be in control, and then something happened. Was it Wormsley going off? Was it Jammer going off? Was it Percy going off? Was it a combination of all 3? And Wire really took advantage of it, and they got on a roll. And look, fair play to them. That last 18 minutes of that first half, Wire were unplayable. They were brilliant. They were really, really good. But They got a lot of territory, a lot of possession. We didn't touch the ball for, I think, like 9 minutes. We didn't have an attacking set for about 9 minutes. That's a lot of defending.
I think that showed in the tackle count at half-time. But the team we picked was the team we picked on the preview show, 1-17. So
yeah, it was. Yeah.
I'm not going to complain too much about the team that was picked. And obviously in the pre-match press conference, Christian Wolff said that Mark Percival was fully fit. He could have played the last 2 weeks, but we've held him back. But there's obviously something there, isn't there? And him going off, it did disrupt us. We did have to do a reshuffle, but do you know what? That's no excuse. That the last 20 minutes of that first half, we looked shot. We were, I think, literally just before we conceded, I think we were at 8-6. I said, we need the half-time hooter right now. And on the back of that, they went and scored twice. And it left us a little bit of a mountain to climb. KP, hindsight, do you put Peru on the bench if there's any sort of doubts over Percival, or do you put Costello on the bench?
Well, that to me says there were no doubts over Percival. If you're not going with that, and you think obviously Bentley can slot in there, and that's your backup rather than Peru. It's been seen when Peru first came over, we played him a little bit at centre, and he was nowhere near the player that he is now. We also, towards midway through, just before midway in the second half, we ended up with Morgan Knowles at centre. On the right-hand side, Jack Wellsby went off. So that for me is ifs, buts, swings and roundabouts. You pick a team that you think is going to win the game. You can't turn around and say, what if he gets injured? What if he gets injured? If you're 100% confident that Mark Percival's fit enough to play, you're not going to be worried about him coming back off. I think you're right. I think, again, we said it last week, indiscipline again. Their first try came off the back of Bentley's over-enthusiasm and them getting a 6th again, which I know that the counter then was in Warrington's favour if we put the referee in that position to kind of give them, obviously so, because he doesn't give something he doesn't see. it's one of them that you've got an argument that we could have had more 6 against, but as we say, that last 20 minutes of the second half, Warrington were by far the superior team, and as you say, we looked knackered. There was a stat on 35 minutes that in the opposition's 20, we'd had 3 play the balls.
They'd had 20 odd, yeah.
They'd had 20 in ours.
Yeah.
You're not going to win a game if them stats are coming at you.
But territory comes from... I agree with you, Kev. I'm not going to disagree. I think there is an ill discipline there. I definitely agree with that. But I also think it's just too easy to pin Saints. And there's not a lot between it. There was a tackle where Jason Clark and Mike Cooper held Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook down. I could have counted 10 sheep over a fence. And there was no 6 again. I'm thinking, how's that different to 3 in the first half where he's give 6 again? And the thing, I know consistency's key, but I've just got a feeling that we've just been done a bit there today. And I know you don't like bagging refs. I've tried getting you on team, and Dave's tried getting you on. And it's not about bagging refs. Ultimately, today we weren't good enough. We were our own downfall. We've made dumb mistakes on the 6th tackle. Coots kicked it out on the full when we were in the ascendancy. That isn't Saints. I don't know if it's a pressure thing. I don't know if it's a pace thing. I don't know what it is, but there's something in the mindset of those players when it comes to games like that. Is it a desperation to win the Challenge Cup? Do we as fans put them under that much pressure? We're desperate for it. That it means even more.
Kev, we won a grand final last year.
I know that. I know. Yeah, I know.
We can win games like that. So I get what you're saying, and what you said before about having Graham and Walmsley. We need to there's an argument there that you need to rotate them too. And when you've got Louis and Kyle and Matty Leeds coming off the bench, do we miss a bit of go forward? Yeah, it looked like it today. So maybe in some games you do have to rotate them. Yeah, I'm not going to go bagging refs. We'll come on to
just today.
We'll go on to another decision in a bit. But you put yourself in that position, and yeah, as I've said, there's an argument we could have had more 6 against, but we look shot, and that's the problem. That's the problem, especially when you do that much tackling, that much defending.
Takes it out
in the first half. Yeah, you're not getting that energy back. It's not FIFA.
The thing for me is, I think we got found out a little bit against Hull KR last week, and I think we said it at the time. If teams get in a position to stop our quick play of the ball and really slow the ruck down, we don't seem to get those decisions as much as it the other way. And I don't know whether that's, as I was talking last week, about an unconscious bias, because teams are sometimes a bit slower than Saints. We just don't seem, I don't know, we don't seem to, do we not milk it enough? I don't know. But yeah, we went in 16-8 at the half. The tweets at half-time from a lot of fans said it just simply wasn't good enough. Couldn't see us getting back into it. I said we needed to score first, second half. That's what we did. And we got back into the game, and we did respond well after half-time. KP?
Yeah, we did. That's it. We had chances in the first half to be in front, like 8-0. You've got Bentley and Fage both knock on when we're in good positions. Bentley's pretty much over the line.
If he scores there, it's game over, I think.
Yeah, that's it. And Fage then knocks on a bit further on. It's on the last, but again, we've got the opportunity. I wanted Theo to inject himself more into that game, and when he started doing that, that's what happened for Grace's try.
Yeah, the run
he came into
when
the
he went
short
through.
side. Yeah, and all of a sudden you start seeing one of your halfbacks. I thought Johnny Lomax was quiet today.
Yeah, apart from his try.
Yeah, but he's quiet, and it's one of them that one flash of a try doesn't make up for the rest of the time. I'm not saying he's bad, but he wasn't probably up to the standards that he put himself up to last year.
I'll throw it out there. I don't think he has been really, other than the Leeds game since lockdown. I don't think he's met the standards that he met last year, Johnny. For me, that's my opinion. I don't know what other people think.
Let me throw one in quickly then. Is now the time to give Lewis Dodd a chance next week and maybe freshen it up a little bit?
We haven't got a game next week. It's week off, and we need it. Yeah. But the week after, our next game now is Wigan, innit? Away on the 30th. Do you throw him in? Is that a baptism of fire for what is he, 18, 19? Do you put him in that game? Or do you play your Johnny, Theo 6-7 partnership and then put him in the game after who? And I normally know stuff like this, but I don't know who we play.
It didn't Regan Grace.
Well, you're right. And in fact, Dave, you're spot on. It made Regan Grace. But is it a different role leading your team around a pitch as a 7 than having a bit of pace and going through a few gaps on the outside and scoring some tries?
Listen, I don't think Theo was any worse than anybody else today. I'm just thinking that if you want to freshen it up a little bit, that wasn't the reason we lost the game. The reason we lost the game was Headgate. Okay, right. So we had to put the question out. I always thought it was a knock-on if it came off the head.
The old John Harrison.
The old John Harrison.
You know what frustrated me about this is when you can hear the video ref, which is a great thing down in Australia. You can't hear it on Sky normally, can you? But you can on BBC. How excited Liam Moore sounded when he said, it's come off his head, but it's play on, and he's grounded it, and it's a try. And I was thinking, you're supposed to be unbiased. Like, shut up being excited.
The thing for me, obviously, the question gets sent up as, I think it's come off his head. So I looked at the rule on the RFL website, and obviously it says a player should be penalised if his delivery knocks on a passes forward. My first thought was it actually hit his head because he was in front of the man passing the ball. Heading the ball, it's illegal to head the ball in a forward direction, and even if it was accidental, it's only if the player knocking on regains or kicks the ball before it touches the ground. If it's come off his head but then gone forward, so that's what the rule states on the RFL website and in the rule book, clear as day. So, listen, we're still unclear of the rule. So we asked Ian Smith, ex-Super League referee, who has stated you can't deliberately head the ball forward, but if it's accidental, it's play on. I'm still waiting to see where that's wrote down somewhere.
He's just said in his presser as well, he's been practicing it in training. So it's not accidental. Take the 6 points off him retrospectively and put us in the draw at half time.
I think there's a little bit tongue-in-cheek on that one.
I think in commentary they call it the Falcon or something when it's down in Oz.
Yeah, so in the NRL. Yeah.
I thought at the time, you just can't defend that, can you? There's nothing you can do about it. And I think that sums up the game for us today. That's what we've been beaten off. A try that has bounced off Anthony Gelling's big daft head.
We've not just been beaten off that. We said I watched the preview show from Wembley last night.
Why? Why? Sorry, let's just time out. Let's just stop the quotation. Why?
Because I wanted to curb my enthusiasm and my arrogance. I wanted to just go into this game thinking, look, we're not invincible. We can lose games. And I said in that preview that if we turn up as a 7, we've got a really strong chance. Warrington have to be a 10. Today we've turned up a 6 at best, and at times actually probably even a 5. And Warrington, that 20 minutes before half time, were a 9.5 solid, and they were a solid 8 the rest of the game. So that's us today. Yeah, we've been done, I agree, by a decision that's not gone our way. But how many times is that going to happen? And there'll be memes all over Twitter and whatever. And let them have the moment. Let's put a positive on this. They're still in the Challenge Cup, and we're not. So they're going to play.
Brilliant.
Let me finish.
Well,
so they're going to play. They're going to play.
We're not in the Challenge Cup.
Let me finish. They're going to play 3 games in 10 days, in 2 weeks' time.
Great.
And we're not.
There's a positive. Without the cup, we can have a week off.
It'll help our Super League claim, and it'll damage theirs. That's what I'm trying to say.
You know what, Kev? You've got a good point. The only positive you can kind of take from the result is the fact that I think the semi-final's 3 days after the Wigan game.
It is.
It's not ideal. I don't want to be out of the Challenge Cup. I said in the previous show I wanted to win the Challenge Cup, so I'm gutted. that's the only positive you can take from the result. The fact that our players can get a little bit more of a rest. As I say, I'd rather still be in it, and I'd rather have that problem that you've got, that you're kind of making knackered players get on with it, and having to rotate your squad and see some players like Joe Batchelor, Callum Hazard, Josh Sane, Lewis Dodd, all get game time. But you know what? We're out. There's not much we can do about it.
There's two more positives, Kev. One is we're not going to spend a boatload of money going down to Wembley if they're allowed.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, I know, because we'll be in lockdown. 22,000 fans. The other positive is I think James Graham really wants to win that, so he might do another year.
I can't see it. But anyway.
Well, we never know.
My last word on Headgate probably has to be if accidentally heading it forward wasn't already banned, there's a rule change incoming, because I don't really feel like you should be losing rugby league games based on somebody making a mistake. But
yeah, I agree.
Jonathan Davies said the same in commentary. He said there's probably a rule change there, but as we say, it is what it is. It pretty much sums up that game for us.
If it was the other way around, I'd be sat here laughing my head off, Harry.
Oh yeah, of course you would. Yeah, 100%.
Right, let's get some of the tweets up if I can.
Have you filtered out all the profanities?
No.
I bet there's a few.
If he wants to,
going back to a point Kev made earlier about Kyle Amor. He was one of our best players today. He has carted it in time and time again. Never stopped putting his hand up. Carted it in time and time again. And I feel Wormsy are the same. He's done 3 stints. Wormsy today. Roby's done 80 minutes. So, all right, we've been done by Headgate. We've not had much of the rub of the green. We weren't great. We were a 6. If we'd have been a 7 today, we'd have won that game. But there's a couple of players on that pitch probably don't deserve to be on the losing side. I thought that's probably the worst game I've seen Coote ever have in a Saints colours as well. I thought
did you not watch the cup final last year?
Well, obviously, but he wasn't fit. You didn't watch it. He was drinking champagne in the Dominican.
Right, come on, stay on track, boys. Tweet.
Sorry.
John, even as a Saints fan, it was more of ball's head than head to ball. Yeah, it was ball's head. I don't think we're arguing that. It was completely accidental, but it is what it was. Poor defence, clueless in attack. That's why we lost. I don't think the defence was that bad. We got done a couple of times, but it wasn't terrible.
It was that 20 minutes in the first half. There were a couple of we didn't stop the offload, and that's how you kill Warrington. And that's just what they did. They managed to get through, didn't they?
I watched the Charlie try at half time, and if you look at Bentley's defending position, his defending positions as a second rower. Therefore, the gap's there where Percival normally is, and that's where the gap appears, and Charlie goes through it. He's not a centre; he's a second rower.
Right, Chris Lovian is asking someone to provide the law where it says that if it's accidental, it's play on. Because if anybody can actually find that wrote down somewhere, I will happily retweet it. But I've not seen it so far.
Real Men of Balls, obviously a Warrington fan.
Is definitely a Warrington fan. So we're skipping his comments because it doesn't matter. The rule needs to be removed. Lozzie King agrees with us. Let's see what else we've got.
Official score without breaking the rules. Saints 18, Warrington 14.
Adam John Berry is looking forward to our meltdown. We haven't melted down.
I think Adam also tweeted that Saints can't win a playoff game, but they've never been Super League champions, have they? Hi, Adam.
65 years.
Oh,
hi, Adam.
I don't know what we like, Adam. Adam's all right.
No, he's not. He's a Warrington fan.
He's just got his facts wrong, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. Andy Basin says it was accidental. To me, it's no different if it hits the shoulder or chest. It wasn't a deliberate header. Ian Smith replying to us.
Don't read that comment. Carry on.
Why is on tour V2? Not this year, mate. You're in lockdown. Like the rest of us.
Lockdown in Alford. Bloody hell. Worse than being a witness.
I don't know.
It's a close one, Kev. No real men of balls. A Saints fan, he says. But he's right. And we've said that. If it was the other way around, we wouldn't bat an eyelid at the rule. But yeah, when you get done by it, you do. So,
apologies, real men are bald. You're a lovely guy.
Bridge, so gutted, hate to bag on the lads, but I don't know why I just seem to have outperformed in a one-off match again. Chris Penton thinks it certainly needs looking at the rule. Warrington, I don't know, have they just got the number of us in big games at this moment in time? And is it a mentality thing that we need to sort out, especially if we meet them at the end of the year, which we may well do?
We won't meet them at the end of the year. They won't be in the mix, I don't think. They want that Challenge Cup back, so they'll focus their attention to that. The games are coming thick and fast. I was thinking of this the other day. I was thinking, we haven't got a game next week. Let's try and set up a preview show to preview the remainder of the season and look, so fans get a bit of a flavour of what's coming up, when the games are, that kind of thing. Honestly, when you look at it, it's ridiculous how many games are coming in a 6-week period. It's brilliant because...
Who sacked you as editor, Dave?
I resigned.
It was just a thought. It was just a thought.
Kev Cunningham TV, let's launch it. He's about Kev, you're like an enthusiastic toddler.
I am drinking Corona, so don't tell me, Mum. Don't tell me, Mum.
Right.
No, but honestly, when you look at it, the games are coming really thick and fast. I've watched 2 NRL games today. There's been 5 injuries in 2 games, and they're only playing a 20-game season. So it's gonna get tough. Teams are gonna start struggling. And when you think, and I know it's not necessarily a positive for the Challenge Cup, but it might. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. We might be doing a preview show or an instant fan reaction following a grand final, saying, did us getting knocked out the Challenge Cup help us win that grand final? And the answer ultimately will be yeah, because in what's coming up in the next 6 weeks, it's frightening the amount of rugby league that's going to be played.
I still want to win.
So thankfully, Sky are going to put... Yeah, Dave, so do I. So does every Saints fan. But in this year, in these circumstances, with having to... Look, the start of the year, we had a bit of a debate, didn't we, about... they're scrapping the Easter Monday game for player welfare, and now look what they're doing to the Blokes.
Personally, what I would do at this moment in time is, the way the country is with COVID, if possible, I'd just stop everything now. Stop all the rugby league, stop all the football, and to be fair, whoever's top of the league at this moment in time...
So Everton and Saints both win.
I'd just make them champions.
Oh, you need your head testing.
That's why it's hard for me. Do you know what? I'd be in a far worse mood if Everton weren't top of the league. So,
who's that play you've signed, by the way? Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Hey, listen.
This is Redby TV. This is not Everton TV.
I agree.
TV.
Sorry, Kev.
But
sorry,
do you know
Kev.
what? There's a little bit I want to say, and it's not really about Everton that much. I think I went on to TalkSport at the end of last season, and I was talking about Everton and about Calvert-Lewin up front. And I basically said you could have Lewandowski up front for Everton, and he wouldn't score goals with the midfield we had. And we've gone out and signed a load of good players, and all of a sudden we're a good team. And that's essentially what happens, even for rugby league. If you have good players, you become a good team, and you mould into that. So let's be honest. It's going to be a Saints Everton double at the end of the year, hopefully. So
what's happened to Jack Wellsby?
I don't know. I'm just going to replay the last 20 seconds of Dave talking about Everton when I can't get to sleep later on.
What's happened to Jack Wellsby?
Did he not get mentioned?
Shower, hasn't he?
Did he not get mentioned in commentary? What, as he took a knock or something?
Did he go off?
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, he went off.
We ended up with... that's why Kevin Nagama was on the wing when he scored his try.
And he scored that try, yeah. So we've ended up with Morgan Knowles and James Bentley in the centres.
Yep.
That's still nearly one. Right, that's the positive we'll end on.
Okay.
Up the Saints.
Yeah. Congratulations, Warrington.
Super League champions, Saints.
Yeah.
Let's hope Warrington get Wigan next round, because then Wigan at least will rest everybody before the semi-final.
That's a very good shout.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you're a Saints fan, get into the comments on this on YouTube, because it's going to be full of Warrington fans, and at least defend our honour.
Well played, Chris Kendall.
Yeah. Catch you soon.